Alright, we got a big fight here today, guys. This one's going to be between two brothers, the big bads of the Fist of the North Star, or Junto no Kitten universe. It's going to be Raoh versus Kaioh. Tears are going to be shed, bodies are going to be broken. It's going to be a big fight. I'm really excited about this one. Alright, now I don't want to explain too much of the background for either characters because it'll probably take too long. And really, if you're seeing the video, you probably already know who the characters are, so you'll already have a pretty good idea of their backgrounds. But let's talk a little bit about some opinions and thoughts about both characters from people. Raoh is the main bad guy, I guess, of the first arc. The story and Kaioh would be the main villain of the Fist of the North Star 2, basically. And a lot of people tend to like Raoh a lot. He's one of their personal favorite characters. I like him a lot too, but I have some opinions about like how he's presented kind of later on. They try to romanticize him, kind of make him a little bit more of a hero, kind of, or somewhat of an anti-hero. To me, he was really just a villain, and a lot of the other stuff I didn't really like. They try to make it seem like maybe he threw the fight against Ken at the end and stuff like that, or that, and all sorts of other stuff where they just try to make him seem like he wasn't as bad as he seemed. But just judging from what I saw of the anime and what the parts I've read in the manga, he's really cruel. And, he kills people. He seems to take joy in it. Even when he killed that one martial arts master and sent his family to Cassandra, the prison, he seemed to take joy in it. So it's when he didn't really have to show that much joy in it, or he didn't even have to send that family there. But so he definitely is a villain to me. He's not really an anti-hero at all. He may have been good at one point, when he was younger, when he saved Tokyo, or did admirable things then, but for the most part, he definitely, he went to the dark side, so to speak. He definitely became a villain, in my opinion. I'm not really a big believer in the whole him throwing the fight. I think Ken really did beat him, but that's just my opinion. Ken does kind of mention that he feels like Raoh did, but Ken kind of always had this view kind of evolved his brothers, even Jaggy for a while, until Jaggy pretty much was just completely evil, and didn't really show any, even slightly, any redeeming kind of qualities. Jaggy was always just a all-around bad guy, but even then he always kind of he threw fights to Jaggy because he was his older brother, and he just always had this utmost respect for them. Like he put them all on pedestals, him, Raoh, and Toki, or whatever. So I can kind of understand why he may think that Raoh threw the fight, and all these other things, and maybe Raoh was somewhat conflicted in the fight. That might be true, but as far as him actually throwing the fight, I just don't see it personally. That's just my opinion. The other thing that people will talk about with Raoh is that he, they'll argue that he can beat Kaioh because if he had the same training, and stuff as Ken got, where he got to understand Hunter Shinken's ultimate techniques, the Fictional Stars, ultimate moves and stuff like that, better like Ken did when he got to study the statue and all that stuff, that he could beat Raoh. And maybe he could, maybe he couldn't. Even so, even if he did all that, it'd probably still be an even fight. He'd be pretty close. But I'd be completely crush Kaioh. But that's not really relevant as what Raoh could have been, because it doesn't really matter. Because maybe if Raoh or if Kaioh had gotten special training, from if he went and trained with Ryukin, he may have gotten a lot better. So we're not going to use a lot of the what if like Raoh could have done. I'm just going to take Raoh at his best and see how he would stand up against Kaioh. But on to Kaioh. A little bit about him. People love Raoh, and Kaioh is kind of, some people like him a lot, but he's kind of gets not as much love kind of as Raoh, because he is basically a rip-off character. He's basically Raoh 2.0 in the series, and that kind of happens a lot in Fist of the North Star. When you look around, you see in Fist of the Blue Sky, there's a character that's a lot like, that looks just like Raoh or Kaioh do in the face, and he's the big bad. He seems to be a big bad in that. And then also in some of those video games, there was they've had Zeno, I think, was a character just like Keno or Raoh. So they kind of tend to have a lot of characters that are almost repeat characters of the past. They do it with other people too, Shin and Rei or Shu, and all those guys start to feel a bit the same, but if you give each of them a chance, they can still be pretty cool if you just listen to their kind of stories and stuff. But Yeah, so that's kind of like the problem with Kaioh. So I probably do like Raoh more personally, so because technically Kaioh does have that handicap of just being, he's the second Raoh. But that said, I really do like Kaioh a lot. I definitely don't dislike him, and I definitely he doesn't like annoy me nearly as much as Raoh does at times. And they try to, like I said, make him out to be some sort of anti-hero or something just silly, and it doesn't work. Or how they are trying to make him seem a lot stronger than I think he was, like in that Raoh anime that they came out with not too long ago. What was it? I think it was called like Legends of the Dark King or something like that. And, like in that, like he fights Souther, and like Souther, has his secret, where the Honto Shinken doesn't work on him, so he's like taking shots he's blocking Raoh shots, and some of that's still doing like enormous damage to him, which doesn't make any sense because he took shots from Ken, like since some of Ken's strongest shots, he traded blows with Raoh evenly, so unless Raoh doesn't have a lot of durability, I assume Ken can hit almost as hard as Raoh can, and Souther took his best shots and was fine, he could keep fighting, so I don't understand why. Souther blocking with his hands is, getting just a slight impact from the blow is somehow hurting him. It's kind of stupid. That, and they got his personality, and Souther's kind of switched because Souther was the one who kind of decided to back off and retreat, and Raoh was the one who decided to, he got kind of Souther to kind of back off. Whereas if you just look at the anime or the manga, it's the exact opposite. Raoh's the one that backs off. In the fight with Kim, he's getting hurt too much and it's too dangerous. Souther, when he's getting hurt, he doesn't care. He just always moves forward and always just wants to keep fighting until one of them, is beaten or dies. So that's the other problem I have with that one, that anime that they made, that spin-off series. But enough about Raoh. We're supposed to be talking about Kaioh. Kaioh, he's just a beast, and I'm just gonna say it right now. That I think that Kaioh would win this fight, in my opinion. He's a lot stronger, I think, than Raoh. There doesn't need to be as much build-up or anything for this kind of fight like the Shin and Rei one, which was a lot harder to judge, or even the Goku Superman one, which had like a lot of details. This one's the most obvious I've done. There's just a huge difference in like their abilities. Kaioh is everything Raoh is and more. He's not just like a completely a Raoh rip-off. He has other people's abilities too. He's actually bigger than Raoh too, I believe. He's taller, so, and they're all muscle, so it makes him bigger. So I assume he's probably physically stronger too. But it's pretty close, I think, in that area. So he's got Raoh's, body, and they kind of got that size to him. Plus, in addition to this, he's got, he's a lot like Souther and like his attitude, kind of. But I don't know how much that's going to play out in the fight, but and then the other big thing is he's a lot like his other brother too, Toki. He's a martial arts prodigy. In fact, he's probably better than Toki actually at being like just the martial arts, prodigy, just naturally gifted. He's so good that he, what's his face, that guy Kaioh, who's like ranked AA fighter in that Honto Shinken manual book. He felt bad because he was too weak to compare to for Kaioh. When you can get a guy like that, like Kaioh, Ken's biological brother, to say that he's too weak, he was, that he felt too weak to be, your sparring partner or to be training, like, with you, and he was holding you back. That says something about how great Kaioh was. He just was superb, like, then, because Kaioh was a top 5 fighter, probably, that Kenshiro had to face in the Fist of the North Star. Like, the top 5 kind of guys I thought would be Raoh, Kaioh, Souther, and it might just be Kaioh might be right next to them, basically him and Falco. Those are probably like his toughest opponents. Toki was kind of more of an ally. He did spar with him a bit, but the many people he fought, those were probably the hardest opponents for him. Kaioh also has like the best victory over Kenshiro. Shin beat, his victory is very unique because of how quick he beat him. Souther's was the most competitive. It was actually, they seemed fairly well matched. He just had kind of that secret kind of to him that gave Souther the huge advantage. But overall, they felt like they were pretty evenly matched opponents, and they felt evenly matched pretty much in their second fight, which is why the fights with Souther are some of my favorite fights in the series. But Kaioh, this is like at the end. This is after Kenshiro's already beaten Raoh. He's beaten Raoh twice, in fact, at this point in the series. So he's beaten Raoh, he's beaten Souther. All of his tough opponents are pretty much all beaten at this point. And he fights him, and he's just... It's like a Dragon Ball Z kind of moment. It's like, it's like Raditz showing up basically during like the, I don't know, like the King Piccolo saga or the Second World Tournament. It's just this guy, you know, Dragon Ball Z kind of moments like that don't seem to happen much in Fist of the North Star. Like Shin could still kill Raoh if he, like, you know, Raoh just stood there and took a shot from him. Kaioh literally stands there and just takes a shot from Ken right to the face, and just he doesn't do anything to him. And it was just really cool. He was like, you know, the music starts playing, like Ken's gonna make a comeback, and the music just cuts short when he tries to punch Kaioh. It's like, you know, you don't really have anything on me, basically. Kaio's attitude, and he just manhandles Ken like nobody's ever done this to him. Like throughout the entire series, no one ever beat him up like this. It was just, he couldn't hurt him at all, and it was just like, wow, this guy's a freak. He doesn't, you know, belong in this, you know, kind of universe. He's on a whole other level, it seems. You know, Ken's ultimate technique, that Musu Tensen, that, you know, technique that he does where he can't, you know, he becomes like intangible to people. That Kaioh found a way to beat that, even, which is like, you know, Hunter Shiken's like ultimate technique. He found a way to beat it, which is, you know, amazing. I don't even know if Ken used it really in his other fights in the second part, which is kind of weird. Like, I don't know, you know, why, you know, couldn't he have used it against Falco or Han and beaten them fairly easily, but I don't know. Technically, I guess all the people from the land of Shura, the main guys, had like some sort of way to counter it. I can't remember. I think Hiro had a way to counter it too in his fight. But Kaioh like overcame it. Like, no, okay, no big, you know, you can do that. Okay, no big deal. And then he just continued to beat up on Ken the whole fight. So I mean, we can sit back and we can argue about, you know, how good Raoh could have been, should have been, like, you know, if he had just done these things. But ultimately, I mean, it's just not really fair, because then we could say, well, how good would Kaioh have been if he had trained with, you know, Ryukin? He probably would have been better. You know, he seemed to be, you know, even more of a prodigy than Toki, and he was bigger than Raoh. He probably would have been the, you know, probably the best Honto Shinken master, maybe, you know, ever. I mean, I don't know if he ever would have gotten Uso Tensen or whatever, but he still would have been superb. So, you know, he probably didn't, you know, he didn't get the best training, probably, since I think Ryukin was probably better than Juke, his trainer. But even so, he still managed to, you know, beat, what's his face, Kenshiro, the best student of Ryukin. And he just completely outclassed Ken, like, completely, you know, like in every way, basically, you can imagine. And he's got everything going for him. He's bigger than Raoh, stronger than Raoh, better martial art. He picks up on martial arts faster than Raoh, better, it seems. Yeah, he's just got everything going for him. He's even probably more ruthless than Raoh, though Raoh's not really super nice at all, really, in the series. Again, he's just pretty much completely, well, not completely bad, but he's super bad in the series too, so I don't consider him a good guy at all. You know, technically, I think the writers, one of them, like, loves Raoh. I think they're trying to maybe make him out to be a little bit more of a hero, kind of anti-hero, but or make him seem like he's even like the best villain, kind of like ever in the series. But it kind of reminds me of Shishio with the guy in Runny Kitchen. You know, they try to build him up, and it kind of ends up hurting like some of the later on villains a lot when you try to build up a villain that's already been defeated. But it's whatever. Ultimately, though, the winner of this fight is usually Kaioh for me, and I like Kaioh a lot. I probably still do like Raoh more, because Kaioh does still have to suffer from the fact that he is basically just, you know, Raoh 2, and he looks like Raoh. He dresses kind of similarly, but I like him a lot. And yeah, my next video probably will be Kenshiro versus Yujiro Hanma from Baki the Grappler. It probably won't be long either, so just tune in for that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and we'll discuss it.